Welcome back to On the Peg with me, your host, the one, the only, the eyebrow-raising, the bearded toyholic, and it's so much fun to have action figures. Of course, I am the Mad Montreal Man, and, well, we have action figures for you today, and I've never reviewed these before. I did mention in the last video that I picked up these wonderful figures. Oh, action figures. The joy of collecting action figures. But no, I just never reviewed these here. I mean, I did review Superman and Aquaman before on the channel, but I realized when I was looking at my displays, my shelves, I don't have him. I thought I had him. I don't. So it's a good time to basically, take a look at these in the United States Roth exclusives, or in Canada, you pick them up at EB Games, and see is it worth the money. Because in the States, they're about, I think they retail about $12 in the States, or $10 in the States. In Canada, they're $20. But it's a great thing for someone like you and me. If you don't have the guy, it's worth spending the $20 to get the guy without any accessories. So let's find out. Of course, we need the help of my friend, the enemy of all mint in package. It's Dr. Scalpel and the Joker, who obviously has had a scalpel to his face. And the one thing about these guys, I don't think you can really care about the packaging so much. It's just a matter of, clip them, take them out. Now, I'm going to do the cut at the bottom feature because I'm one of those guys who does keep the packaging for the most part. Because, well, it's obvious I keep the packaging. I mean, it makes for a great sound wall. It really does. So I'm going to finish taking out the Joker out of this plastic prison. And you can mostly keep the packaging if I really wanted to. The artwork in the back is nice, little. It wouldn't be much of a sound wall because it's thin compared to the boxes. But I'll finish taking him out, cut the plastic thing, throw in a close-up, and we'll talk about him in a minute. One good thing about this packaging, apart from the artwork on the back, is that when you open it up, there's no card or base to take out, so you're not ripping the back cardboard, so it actually would display nicer than if I took one of these guys, put the figure back in, and you'd be able to see the tears where the base and the card was. So not a bad advantage. Now, as for the figure myself, you saw in the close-up. It's a reused body. We've all seen this body before, but this is the face sculpt, which I didn't have on my shelf. And I'm happy I picked it up. So for me, this guy was worth the $20 I spent picking him up because it's a Joker I didn't have on my Joker shelf. And yes, I have a Joker shelf. There's enough Jokers out there. I mean, I have several. I think I have too many Batman shelves to count, but I have a shelf just for Jokers. So yeah, that's good. So, I mean, articulation is not much there. It's like the same shoulder issue I've always complained about. But it's mostly for the face sculpt. Now, I can see down the road. Do you remember the Joker they did that had the police uniform, had the spare heads? I can see doing a head swap, putting that head on that body. That would be a cool looking Joker. So, hey, maybe they'll do one of those of that one. But for now, I'm happy I got him. I mean, I do have enough spare bases somewhere. the clear type that I can put him on, so he'll stand nicely on the shelf. Will he be the front of the shelf? No. It was a different take of the Joker. I do remember reading it. I do remember enjoying it, the storyline. But from a medical standpoint, that would not be good. I'm just saying. I'm going to put him down. And I do want to mention one thing. McFarlane Toys, I'm surprised they haven't done any of these guys with the DC Digital figures. Because a lot of people I know, especially here in Ottawa, have missed out on DC Digitals because they're not as mass produced as these guys. And there are some that would be kind of cool to get if they did them like this. So we got 4 months left on McFarlane, roughly. You know, August, September, and roughly 4 months. And a whole bunch of stuff's coming out. I've seen the pictures from the Asian market of the Superman Red, Superman Blue 2-pack, a whole bunch of other stuff like that. But it would be nice if they surprise us with some of these guys, but of the digitals. But that said, let's take Superman out of the package. At the same time, I'm going to take Aquaman out. Because I want to do something with these guys. I'm actually thinking about doing something with these guys because I already have these guys. I've already reviewed the figures themselves. But let's get to it. I'll be back after I take them out, throw in the close-ups, and we'll talk about that, and then I'll show you what I want to do. Okay, you saw in the close-ups, Superman Rebirth, it's the same one we've had before. We've reviewed them already. No accessories, just the figure re-release. And I still think that the face seems a bit squishy, a little bit. And of course, the Aquaman, one of the better sculpts they've ever done of Aquaman. I love the face. Now, this is why I wanted both of these guys, apart from having something to review on the show today, was I remember back Neil Adams did a story way back when called The Coming of the Supermen. And it was a story I remember because you had three guys get the powers. One of them had blonde hair, and I kept on thinking, that kind of be cool to look at. Plus the fact there was, in the Silver Age, a story where some guy had blonde hair, and there was even another story where there was an imposter with blonde hair. And I just thought, you know what? It'd be interesting to see a blonde-haired Superman. So let's do that, shall we? Hot water time. let's talk about the monstrosity I created. A black-haired Aquaman. Now, of course, the skin tones don't match, but in some ways, it kind of works a little bit. Not the skin tones, but having a black-haired Aquaman. It's, of course, I don't like that face sculpt, but it does make you think, hey, maybe Aqualad eventually grows up and assumes the role of Aquaman. It's not my favorite face sculpt, but it kind of gives you an idea of what Aquaman would look like if he had black hair. That head's not staying on that body. I have some other heads I'll probably swap onto it. The same problem with the Superman Aquaman head. Now, the skin tones are a bit closer than this one, but I like it. I don't know what it is about this. I mean, I know in the Neil Adams series, the guy who had the blonde hair had short blonde hair, but there's just something about this guy I like the look of a blonde-haired, bearded Superman. It's just, I don't know, it just kind of makes me think of, this is an alternate world we haven't seen in DC Comics. It's sort of what I was thinking for my Kryptonian universe anyway, just because, you know, his cousin Supergirl has blonde hair, and, you know, if I think about my own family, even though my hair is not blonde anymore, it used to be. Most of my cousins, my sister has blonde hair. Most of my cousins have a shade of blonde in their hair. So it would make sense to me that Superman would have blonde hair if his cousin had blonde hair. And vice versa, if, you know, it's just one of those things. So I actually might leave this guy as is. And that, in some ways, is the advantage of when you pick up these in the States, Rocks exclusives for $20 or $10 or $12 in the States, is that you can do fun things like this. Just a quick head swap, and you kind of get a new character. And I definitely think I'm going to leave that on. Because I mean, he looks like a Superman you don't want to piss off. I'm just saying. There's something about it I like. I mean, this one, okay, the short hair on Aquaman kind of makes sense, but I don't like that face sculpt. But that works for me. And that's pretty much it. I mean, in some ways, it's worth picking up these action figure only, or the discounted figures, or whatever you want to call them, because you can do fun things like that. And if you're a customizer, well, you get a body. And yeah, I think blonde-haired, bearded Aquaman head is going to stay on the Superman body because I just like it. And as for the skin tone variation, I don't mind so much. I mean, my skin tone's not even everywhere. I mean, my arms are darker than my face. Let's not even talk about the legs. They're scary white. But no, I'm happy. I'm happy I did this. This is a silly freaking head swap, but it works. And, you know, hey, maybe I'll put a Joker head on the Aquaman. No, that's not going to happen. That Joker's going on the shelf because I don't have that one. But that's it for today's show. And let's wrap it up for today. I mean, we had some fun. I still have to figure out what head to put on that, because I do want to have a variant Aquaman, which would be kind of cool. And no, I'm not going to put Jason Momoa's head on this. I'll figure it out. I kind of do like the thought of having a black-haired Aquaman, though. Except you have to have long black hair. And I just realized who it's going to be. Because I do know that McFarlane Toys has announced the black suit Superman, the S1, with the beard, is going to come out in one of these. That head on this body would be cool. And, of course, put that head on that body. A simple swap. When that does come out, I'll show you, and we'll do it. But until then, you got to do your best for your body, your mind, and, of course, your emotional well-being. You got to do your best to stay happy. And when you do get a head swap that actually works and it makes you smile, well, that's a good way to stay happy. And last but not least, I've said it before, with everything going on in the world nowadays, it's not always easy, especially when you realize they just used a reused body, but they had the line up there. Who cares? I mean, it's just going to go on the shelf anyway. It's still a good way, because you have to try. It's a good way to try to sort of force it a little bit, maybe. But with the craziness in the world, you know, the struggles financially that a lot of people are going through, I know I'm going through stuff like that. work problems, everything else, you still got to do your best to stay positive. And on that wonderful note, Superman Blonde and me are going to... What editor? What's coming next week? Okay. All right. What's coming next week? It's right behind me. Superman Mogul. Yes, I did buy the 2-pack. Yeah. I gave in. I picked it up, even though I already have the Mogul. But why not? I picked it up. So join us next week for the episode of On the Peg, where I do that 2-pack. And if nothing comes in by then, then of course, well, Deluxe Edition Bane, Deluxe Edition Joker. But until then, take care of yourselves. Enjoy your weekend. I hope you liked having these 2 shows this week. And we'll see you next time here on The Peg. I'm back. You saw the credits and I'm back. Well, while I was doing my permanent head swap at the end, I realized if you have the Christopher Reeve Supermans, you probably have a couple spare heads. And another reason why you might want to get this Ross in the States exclusive or EB Games Superman, because you can swap out that really weird squished head for a Christopher Reeve head. And that just looks good. It just does look good. I mean, here's a quick close-up. You see what I mean? That face on this body actually works. But you don't have to stop there. Remember how I didn't like having this head on the Aquaman? How about a black-haired Christopher Reeve as Aquaman? Or, if you want, what if Superman had landed in Atlantis? Look at that. Look how good that looks. That just looks... That actually works. I'll throw in a close-up right now. Well, as you can see in the close-up, Christopher Reeve head works, and it makes you think an Elseworld story concept. What if Superman's rocket ship crashed into the Earth but landed in the ocean and was raised by Atlanteans? Super Aquaman. That's kind of cool. Or maybe in an alternate universe of ours, Christopher Reeve grew up, went to Juilliard, and got the role of Aquaman instead. Yep, those heads actually do work. In some ways, it's definitely better than the, well, that head on this body. It still kind of works, but it's not quite the same. I know what I'm going to do. There's the Superman with the black outfit and the beard. McFarlane Toys is going to be releasing that. I'm going to basically buy one of those, swap heads out, maybe put this head on that body and put a black bearded head on this one, giving me a alternate Aquaman. But that's it pretty much for the show. Tune in next week for the Superman Mogul. Other things did come in this week, but we're gonna wait and see what else comes in. And that's it. You guys have a great weekend. I hope you enjoyed the little fun here at the end with the extra head swaps. I know I did. But take care of yourselves. And in the meantime, though, I am definitely going to enjoy having my blonde-haired Superman on the shelf with my other Kryptonian stuff. But we'll see you guys next week. Until then, have a great weekend. And that's it. Go ready. Go way ready. Oh, and if you want to support the show, of course, do the like, subscribe, comment, and share. And if you want to support the show in a more physical way, hit the links below. Okay? Have a good night. Have a good weekend. Hey, it is really, at the time of this recording, it is hot, it is humid, and it's like I'm under lights, and it's brain melting. Whew. I mean, I reviewed Aquaman and Superman. Akuma. I can't speak. Now, there is one benefit to this packaging. With the regular packs, when you take out the base and the card, you rip the backpack. I know, I'm back. Well, I thought of another head swap. If you got the Christopher Reeve Superman, you also have that face, that Superman head. So that's another reason why. Well, you saw the close-ups. It's the same Superman Rebirth we've seen before, even though I feel like the face is a bit small and squishy on this one. And, of course, it's the Aquaman. Why can I say Aquaman? Aqua. I can't speak. It kind of makes you imagine what that would have been like if Superman did land in Atlantis. And the comic book I'm referring to is Atlantis Chronicle. The comic book I had put the joy of collecting action figures. Ha 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 ha.